very, very warm welcome to you all this morning. And it is it is certainly a warmer day. The summer is almost upon us. Things are warming up. Today we've got a hot topic. We are talking to the future of real estate and looking at embracing artificial intelligence. This is an ongoing series of conversations with thought leaders, experts in their field, and providing contemporary thought on trends in the real estate and, in this particular instance, the technology space. So today I'm welcoming an old friend of mine, Alistair Hawley, and with no lack of respect at all, I do emphasize an old friend of mine. The two of us go back many, many years. I think we've been out of school multiple years longer than we were in school. When we go back to those old reunions, we don't actually recognize half of our peers anymore. Alistair was a very competent and accomplished scrum half in the first team rugby, and he's grown to be a very accomplished and respected leader of industry, having founded SIS Global, which has a portfolio of global solutions, cutting-edge solutions in the technology space. They can showcase over 400 project implementations, 28 years of experience, and having over 80 technology experts in their stable. They've got a wonderful portfolio of work that is represented by the work that they do for various brands, local and international, the likes of Coca-Cola, F&B, Ericsson, Volvo, Samsung, and the like. SIS Global has now injected some new blood, some young blood into the organization in Mitchell, his son, that has joined recently in 2022. Mitchell founded Chatterbox in 2017 and merged with SIS Global in 2022, now called Verge AI. Verge AI is a chatbot company that does a lot of custom AI chatbot development work, strategic AI consulting work, and other. Today we are going to welcome them to do a presentation on AI chatbot trends and how it's a disruptive and enhancing technology for us in business. It's actually very interesting to note that in 2023 it's predicted that almost 2.8 billion hours of work will be saved by using chatbot technologies. And from a real estate perspective, it's very interesting to know that the projection is that the real estate segment will be one of the highest adopters of chatbot technology, followed by travel, education, health, and finance. We are already looking at a number of chatbot solutions at High Street, adopting the technology onto our platforms to enhance our interactions with stakeholders, our process flows, our business rules. But I'd like to invite first Mitchell and then Dane Hart, Head of Development for the organization, to come up and share their perspective on AI. So Mitchell, warm welcome, please. Thank you.
So thanks to Greg and his team at High Street Auctions for inviting me here today. I'm really excited to be speaking to you guys about the world of AI, where it's going, and ultimately how do we apply this to the real estate and property sector. As Greg said, my name is Mitchell Hawley. I'm the founder and managing director of Verge AI. We are a company at the forefront of AI and robotic process automation. Our primary focus is on chatbots, and as such, a lot of this presentation and demonstration that we're going to show you today is going to show you how we utilize this AI technology and how we apply it to these cutting-edge chatbot solutions. In terms of the proceedings, I'm going to be giving you a presentation around the power of AI. This is going to be more of a high-level introduction to AI. I think when we look at AI, there's a lot of important topics such as security, language models, the fine-tuning of those models, to things like responsible AI and ethics. Due to the nature of today being quite short and the lack of time, we're going to keep it more of a high level, but that's just to give you a few things to think about when we're speaking about AI. Secondly, my colleague Dane Hart will be coming up here. He's going to be showing you a demonstration and how this AI can be related to real-world scenarios in the property and real estate sector. And hopefully this gives you a lot of context to the speech that I'm going to be speaking about, and hopefully spark some excitement around different ideas and how you can use this technology. And lastly, there'll be a Q&A session. However, if we do run over time, Dan and myself will be hanging around, so any questions, you're welcome to come through to us and ask us those questions. So whether you are a seasoned property developer, a new player in the commercial real estate market, or someone who's simply interested in property and AI. I hope you found this presentation thought-provoking and insightful. Thank you for being here today, and let's dive into the world of AI. So why has AI become so popular, specifically within the last 6 to 8 months? I think the big elephant in the room when we speak about AI nowadays is ChatGPT. I think ChatGPT really showed all of us the power of where AI was going, and it's the first tool that's been mass released where people have been really able to play around with it and actually get an insight to the world of AI. And I think most of you who would have played with it, for myself, who was in the AI field, it just purely blew me away at the power that it had, the ability to answer natural language questions. I think we've all played with those chatbots on websites before where if you don't ask your question in the right way, it's saying, I don't have an answer, or sorry, I can't answer that. And those are extremely frustrating. And ChatGPT has really shown a lot of us the power of AI. And I think if we're looking at the underlying technologies, a lot of those advancements have got this technology to where it is today. Things like processing power and intelligence. Nowadays, with computing power being so powerful, the ability to handle and process so much more data and big data, the ability for AI to handle structured, but not only structured, unstructured data and raw data is really providing a lot of helpfulness to companies and being able to understand that data. I think when we look at automation and efficiency, we can all see how AI is advancing automation, helping employees free up their time, not ultimately doing those mundane, repetitive, boring tasks, but freeing them up to do productive work and ultimately doing more stuff that inspires them and yourselves. Also looking at predictive capabilities, AI's ability to make predictions from your data is a very hot topic right now. And if we're looking at its ability to understand not only structured but the unstructured aspect of it, take your data, understand that data, and then with that data make predictions. I think we can all see a huge value in that space. And lastly, the personalization aspect. AI's ability to understand who it's speaking to, what you're wanting, and ultimately give you a personalized conversation is driving a lot of sales in multiple different industries. So in summary, AI's popularity is due to its ability to enhance decision making, optimize processes, and create personalized experiences, all while saving time and money. So I saw this slide the other day and actually thought it really sums up one of the biggest fears we have when it comes to AI. I think when AI first came out, specifically technologies such as ChatGPT, I think lots of people had this fear that my job was now going to be taken. And we've seen articles about it, we've seen it on LinkedIn, we've seen it on Facebook, AI is going to replace me, AI is going to do this. And I think this, to me, really sums it up. If you look at that image closely, on one side we have Tony Stark, a brilliant human, but a human nonetheless. And on the other side, we have Iron Man, a superhero. And without his suit, Tony Stark is just a man. But with it, he becomes a superhero. It's technology that has transformed him, that empowers him to do the things he couldn't do as just a man. And this is exactly what I believe we should view AI as. It's not about replacing us, but it's about empowering us. It's about augmenting our abilities, helping us to do more and to do better. Just like the Iron Man suit doesn't replace Tony Stark, AI doesn't replace us. It makes us superhuman. It boosts our productivity, enhances efficiency, and helps us deliver superior performance. So to me, let's not fear AI. Let's embrace it and let it turn us into the superheroes we are all capable of being. Here are what we call the 4 pillars of AI. And these are the 4 main components that we see AI being broken down into. We've got vision, we've got language, we've got speech, and we've got search. So if we're going to look at the first one, vision, this is the ability for AI to see documents and pictures just in a way like a human would. So I think if we're looking at that, there's multiple different ways that we can see AI using this technology. Something like as simple as facial recognition. That can be used from access control and verification purposes. So there's lots of different ways. So just like your phone has verification and facial recognition, AI has the ability to handle understanding faces, emotions, etc. Secondly, we have the ability to understand landmarks and photo recognition. So AI has the ability to recognize with looking at a photo, understand what is happening in that photo, identify different landmarks. So for example, if we took a picture of Table Mountain and gave it to it, it would be able to understand Table Mountain in front of it, the city of Cape Town, etc. And it can explain that full image to you. And a big use case for this is we're seeing in the car insurance industry, where you are now able to upload pictures of your car or after you've had an accident, and the ability for AI to understand what has happened, look at the extent of the damage, and make predictions from that. Ultimately, how long is it going to take to fix the car, the costs surrounding that, etc. So that is a great use case where we see this being used. But last but not least is the document and text component of it, for it to be able to understand documents, read documents, and not only typed out documents, but handwritten documents. And this can be used in a lot of practical cases. If we look at the property sector, something as simple as a lease application form. Traditionally, how that works is you would fill that out, it would be printed, you would fill it out, or it would be filled out on Word, be completed and sent back to your agent. And that agent then would manually have to take all that information and populate that into some CRM system or your property management system, etc. AI now has the ability to take that document, analyze it, pull out all the different identities, whether that be name, company, registration number, all those different aspects, and populate it within your CRM system without any human intervention needed. So I think there we can see a huge use case, and this can be done across multiple different documents. Then we've got the language AI, and the best example of this is ChatGPT. The way you are able to engage with it in a natural, human-like manner, just as you would speak to a colleague of yours, etc. And you don't have to phrase it in certain ways for the AI to understand. Its ability to understand that complete natural language aspect is a huge driving force in driving its popularity, and it to be able to understand different things like emotion and sentiment analysis and all these different things. And then we've got multilingual capabilities. AI's ability to understand multiple different languages, a huge driving force, specifically within South Africa. We see it growing exponentially in the space because AI traditionally of the past could only handle 1 or 2 languages within South Africa. And South Africa being an extremely diverse country with the 11 official languages, AI's ability to now understand each and every one of those, and not only understand it, be able to reply in that. And where this becomes extremely powerful is your data set, all your information does not need to change, nothing needs to be adapted. It's physically able to understand, let's just say you ask a question in Zulu, understand that question, analyze it, look at your information, take that information, translate it back into Zulu, and it's not just like a normal translation, it's able to do a lot more advanced, so the pronunciation and the order of it is correct. So I think we can see a lot of use cases for that, and specifically within South Africa where we need this, and we see that language barrier often being an issue. Then thirdly, we have speech AI, and this is ability for AI to understand spoken voice notes. That's a good example of how you can use this and how you can engage with it like you're speaking to a peer. And this is not only the spoken aspect of it, but it can also reply in a spoken manner, just like you would speak to Siri or Amazon Alexa. And I think when we're looking at that, lots of us would way rather send a voice note than typing out this long-winded prompt or message, and it just makes that whole flow a lot easier. And last but not least, we have search. And this is AI's ability to index and search a huge amount of data. And there's no manual process needed. So this can connect to things such as your websites, your databases, and even go as advanced as understanding videos and images and indexing all those different points. And where this becomes powerful is that doesn't need to be structured data. It can be completely unstructured data, and AI is able to extract trends, understand what you're looking for, and pull it straight out of that. And I think when we look at all these different elements here, combining them all together is another extremely way that we can create powerful solutions. It's not just a matter of using one, but it's when we combine all these different technologies, and you'll see when Dane does his presentation how you can combine these technologies to ultimately have a really powerful solution. So obviously we've spoken a lot about AI-driven technologies, and we've spoken about more text-based, we've spoken about the likes of ChatGPT, etc. And another space where it's exponentially growing is the image generation model. This hasn't been getting as much hype as the other ones, but to me, for the real estate market, this is a huge game changer. We have companies like Adobe Firefly, Midjourney, we have OpenAI's new latest models, and these are really transforming the real estate industry. These AI models are specifically designed to create photorealistic images from text prompts, enabling the development of stunning property renders, etc. So if we're having a look at this image here, the image on the left there is showing how AI has the ability to stage properties. And I think we can all see in multiple different ways within the property industry how this can be hugely beneficial. And where this is really beneficial is this was created with a text prompt. It was an image taken of a room, and here you're telling AI to make a photo, hyper-realistic photo of it staged. And you can see it's put all the furniture in there. And where it becomes even more powerful is now you can edit aspects. You can talk about the style. How do you want it to look? I don't like those ottomans. Change that. I don't like the coffee table. Make the TV bigger. Remove the fireplace. You can do all these certain things, and this can be used from 3D rendering to virtual tours, obviously virtual staging like we've just spoken about, AI-generated floor plans, taking those floor plans, and ultimately from that completing renders, etc. So I think this really is a game changer in the real estate industry. The image on the right there is showing Adobe Firefly, and where this is extremely powerful is this was an actual image taken of the shoreline there. And you can see that now there's a house on it. So before that, there was no house on it. It was just an image. And the prompt to the AI to make this was create a modern minimalistic house built on the shoreline. And basically what AI has gone and done is put this house, make it look like this was an actual house built there. And you can see it seamlessly integrated into the land as if it was an actual house. And again, you have that element of being able to personalize it and say, okay, well, let's add a driveway. There's no driveway. I don't like the pitch of the roof. I don't like the flat roof. All of those different elements you're now able to change and adjust using the AI. So as I said, there's lots of different ways that this can be used, and it's an ever-growing space is the image generation models. So here we're looking at the AI adoption explosion, and basically what this graph is showing to us is the road to 100 million users for various platforms. We've got the likes of Netflix, we've got Twitter, we've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, and most of those platforms only reach this mark within about 2 to 5 years to reach that 100 million mark. And I think the real outlier is ChatGPT that reached this mark in just 2 months. And I think that's a testament to showing the power of AI and the interest and ultimately the popularity behind AI. So to me, this indicates a clear message. AI is not a futuristic concept. It's here, it's now, and it's changing the way businesses operate. Companies that embrace AI are gaining a competitive edge, while those that don't risk being left behind. The adoption of AI in business isn't just a trend, it's a revolution, and it's happening now at an incredible pace. We've obviously spoken a lot about AI's ability to handle your data, and when we're speaking about predictive analytics, with our property management systems, a lot of the times we get these BI reports, and we're all used to these different reports. But AI's ability to understand these reports, make predictions, and obviously that is powerful, but the real power of it is taking all your unstructured data. Often we have these huge amounts of unstructured data that we don't necessarily know what to do with. AI is able to understand that data and from that data make predictions. And we can see multiple different ways that this can be used, from market forecasting to tenant screening and retention. And ultimately, by embracing AI solutions, we can enhance our decision-making process, optimize property management, and stay ahead of the ever-evolving industry. So as we've seen throughout this presentation, AI is really transforming various aspects of the industry, from property management to investment decisions, and those who embrace it will be at the forefront of this transformation. So in conclusion, the integration of AI into the commercial real estate sector represents an exciting and transformative shift, with the potential to drive innovation, improve efficiency, and create unparalleled value for clients. By embracing AI and investing in its development, you can shape the future of the industry. Position yourself for long-term success in this rapidly changing world. One thing is for certain, the future of real estate is here. Thank you so much. I'd like to now hand over to my colleague, Dane Hart.
Cool. Go ahead. Hi everyone, my name is Dane Hart. I'm the head of development at Verge AI, and I'm just here to provide some demos to hopefully contextualize a bit about what Mitchell was saying there. Obviously there was a lot of talk about the different components of AI, language, vision, all that. And I'm just going to be running through some WhatsApp processes that actually will show you a bit on how these can be used in real life scenarios. So all of these are demo processes. You wouldn't necessarily see these in production environments and demo data. But just to give you an idea and hopefully spark some ideas in your own business, we can look at how it would work in the property industry. So this is a bot deployed on WhatsApp, and it's from the perspective of someone actually arriving at one of the properties they own and taking a picture of it with their phone. So you can see it's in WhatsApp, they've taken the picture of it, and now they're just going to say to the bot, give me the key metrics for this property. So they haven't mentioned what the name of the property is, but you can see what it's been able to do there is use Vision AI to first of all pick up that that's Sandton Office Park, and then the AI has extracted some key metrics there that it thinks is relevant, like gross lettable area, occupancy rate, some standard metrics you might see in the commercial real estate industry. And it's important to note is that this could be connected to a number of your own data sources. Obviously, every business has a lot of data everywhere. Your property management systems, databases, Excel spreadsheets, and it can query your own data to provide these metrics. So if we keep going on here, you can see how is Sandton Office Park performing compared to the market. It can also obviously refer to relevant market data and give you an answer there. That can be with an integration as well. Could you show me historical performance data for Sandton Office Park? So of course you have data from the history of this property, and it can provide you insights on that as well, how it's been performing over the last few years. And are there any maintenance updates for Sandton Office Park? We all know when the last maintenance updates were done, when the next ones are coming up, and it can display that there as well when the next ones do. And lastly, can you forecast the financials for the next year? And that's coming from your own data, the past data that you have, and it's making a forecast based on what it has, using its own intelligence and using your own data sources and relevant market data to make a prediction of what the property will earn in the upcoming year. So that's what's really powerful here. You're using the language models to interact with it. You got the context of the conversation. You could filter these down to your anchor tenant by just saying, only show me data for your anchor tenant. And it will know what property you're talking about and filter it down in a natural way. And of course, it's querying your own data, raw data. You don't have to make BI reports here. It will be able to work out with all the data what it needs to look at to make these predictions. So the next one I'm going to be going into is how to streamline a lease application. This is obviously something that a lot of people do when you apply for commercial real estate, and there's normally a lengthy process that involves a lot of documents going back and forth, and this can all be streamlined with RPA, AI, in a bot process. So this is from the perspective of someone that's viewed a property and has actually expressed an interest in applying for it, and you can see they'll get a notification like, hi John, thanks for coming to view Athol Towers. Would you be interested in applying for the property? Just a simple notification, and if I unlock there, it says you can start the application. So I'll say in a natural way, I would like to start my application, and now the bot's just going to go through some simple info gathering. Obviously, what is the lease term? You can just select your option there. You don't have to type it in manually. It also needs to know the occupation date. How long are you planning, when are you planning on moving into this office? You can enter that however you want. You could just say the 1st of October or whatever you wanted to say. It obviously knows what year you're in. How is your company structured? Just a select option. You can select how your company is structured. And now that it knows that that's how your company is structured, it can ask for the relevant documents. So it says, thank you for that. In order to proceed, I need a bit more information about your company. Please could you send me the registration document out of your company? So this is an essential document for applying anyway, but because we're sending it through, we can just get the bot to analyze it. So you'll see I'll just go to my camera roll here, send it through, and the bot will now be able to analyze that and extract what it needs for the application from there. And then you can see it's pulled the required fields from that document automatically using Vision AI. And that could just be an image as well. It doesn't have to be a scanned PDF. You could just take a photo. So, of course, to complete this, you need a lot of documents. You don't just need one. So you can go and collect these all at your own pace during the day, collect them into a folder, come back at night. Because it's on WhatsApp, it'll still be there. And you can batch send the documents in one go, and it'll be able to take all those documents, do some verification, make sure the bank statements match up to the bank confirmation letter, make sure all the directors' IDs are verified. And now it can pre-populate your lease application using RPA, and you don't have to do any manual data entry into that lease. From there, you can click on this link, you can view what it's prepared for you and digitally sign it. And once you've digitally signed it, that's all done for you. So the bot will know that you've signed it, it'll say, thanks for signing this, your application has been submitted. And now you can also use RPA and AI to do a lot of processes that would be manual processes like credit checks, tenant vetting with integration to systems like TPN. And once it's all been approved and the landlord's happy, you'll get a notification saying, fantastic, your lease has been approved and you've passed your credit checks. The last thing, of course, you need to do is actually sign the lease. And again, just like it prepared the application, it can prepare the lease. You can digitally sign all of it. You can read about it. But because we got that thing and we've got the AI, you can also ask questions about your lease. A lease is often something that's very legal and technical, and a lot of people don't understand, and they have to ask questions, numerous questions. But you can just do this naturally now with AI. It'll understand the whole document, everything about the property, and you can just say, what happens if I want to cancel my lease early? Simple question there about early termination that a lot of people will know, and now I can provide a nice answer about early termination there, obviously referring to where it found that as well. And I can also say, what are the specific responsibilities for repairs and maintenance for both tenant and landlord? More of a complex question, but of course the bot's able to understand that. You can see it's broken this particular message down into 2 nice sections based on my question: landlord responsibilities, tenant responsibilities, and obviously presented this to me in a very nice way to understand. Because if it was too complex, if it was too legal, I could say to the bot, simplify this, read this like I'm a child. And it could simplify it to me as well, obviously using the context of the conversation to know what I'm talking about. So last thing once you're done is just to say, I'm happy, let's move on. And you can just say, that's all, sounds good, I'm happy. And then you're done. It can send you the lease again, once all, you can digitally sign it. And that's the end of your lease application. You can really see how that process has been streamlined to make that lease a lot more efficient. So I hope these demos were interesting and insightful, and obviously you enjoyed Mitchell's presentation. This is really just the tip of the iceberg, and due to time purposes, we showed a very concise demo here in the property industry, but you can obviously think about how this can be used in any industry. It's something that understands documents, understands anything you say into it, and this hopefully sparks some ideas for you. We'll be around if you have any questions, but until then, enjoy the auction. Thank you, guys.